In a world where people have long since been incentivized, they've been incentivized by commercial interests to squander their earnings as they acquire it. And with the use of credit, even before so. It's gone before you even get it. So why even try? You know what that feeling is? That why even try feeling? That's learned helplessness. They want you nihilistic. They are probably the source of all of the nihilism today. Oh, and I'm not just generically saying they. I know who they are. They are any business running ads. And the bigger they are, the more they try to please everyone. And we all know, when you try to please everyone, you please no one. I think you're going to get some real value from this video today. It's going to change your life today. I'm serious. I know, you may want the life changer right now, but I have a structure to these videos. Every morning, I must honor yesterday's first. The first commenters on the last video. A river that forgets its source runs dry. It's important to focus on where we're going. Laser focus if you can. But we must take time now and then to honor the team. Alan Ansberry back in the first. This guy's on a tear. Two-way tied with the English professor. First class. Thousandaires. We who are about to stack, salute you. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to come up with an answer. And your answer will dramatically change your future. It will be very simple to chart the course, but it's going to take some fight. But I wasn't exaggerating. This is going to be a pivotal day for you. And not just a pivotal day for you, but for me as well. I'm going to do this too, today. What does this have to do with stacking? Everything. There is way more to stacking than premiums and spot price. You may or may not want to hear this, but to become a better stacker, you must become a better person. And you know what the big secret is? It's very, very easy. I'm not kidding. It's simple. Chances are, if you have not made some big changes, you're actually doing it the hard way. So we're going to give you an adjustment today, kind of like a chiropractor for your brain. We're going to align that brain. We'll get that focus aligned. It's going to feel great. Oh, I didn't ask you to hit that like button yet. You already know I'm going to come through for you today, but if you don't, you can hit the like button later. But I'll say it again. Your likes expand this wealthy community of thousandaires, giving the Thousandaire Radio much more reach, tuning us in to even more friendos. They're out there waiting, probably watching some big sellout stacker channel, some Bullion Dealer's Muppet puppet, cherry-picking news articles and time frames on graphs to sell their FOMO narrative for their Big Daddy Bullion Dealer. The Thousandaire Radio will never be sponsored by bullion dealers or mining companies. That's my gift to you, friendo, and I hope you're enjoying it, because I would make a good sellout. I could probably even be the best sellout, but don't think I'm a total saint. I just think the wealthy community is worth much more than some cheap peddling. All the ponder without all the peddling. Let's continue. Have you ever heard about adult elephants being restrained with a rope around their leg tied to a post? A rope they could easily break if they wanted to. Though the massive elephant would like to be free, it doesn't try to break the rope. Or at least it doesn't try to do it anymore. It used to try to break free when it was just a young elephant, but it was too little. And for a little elephant, that little rope is just too strong to break. Though it may try many times while it's young, eventually it gives up. And again, when it's fully grown, it can break the rope, pull the post out, stomp the trainer like an open tube of toothpaste. But it doesn't. It doesn't even try. It learned a long time ago not to try. It's hopeless. It's not a reality, but it is in the elephant's mind. That's learned helplessness. In reality, training an elephant is not quite as simple as that. There's some extra things. Trainers often use the carrot and the stick as well. Timed feedings and, sadly, even beatings to reinforce the helplessness. So what do you think? Would this type of training work on a human being? My immediate gut response is yes, sure, why not? We like to think of ourselves as much more than animals. And of course, in many ways, that's true. I believe also in some ways it's not true. Okay, I'm going to ask you and myself. I'm going to come up with an answer as well. I imagine as human beings, we have many, many thin rope restraints. I'm sure that one way or another, we've been conditioned to not try a lot of things. My mind is already racing, trying to think of them. So let's do this right now. What's a thin rope tied to you? Hold on, I guess we're not imagining it's a thin rope. we have learned helplessness. What's a huge chain that's tied around you right now? What's holding you back? Do you even dream anymore? Did you stop doing that too? I know it's getting kind of deep today, but humor me. And like I said, I'm doing this exercise as well right now. And I'm uncomfortable thinking about it. I may even be uncomfortable with my answer and saying it, but I'm going to. Whatever this chain is that I'm coming up with, that I'm thinking of right now, I haven't thought of it yet. I suspect I'm going to be very uncomfortable trying to break it. It's likely woven into my identity, into my nervous system. It's likely part of who I am. All right, I don't have all day, and I'm sure you don't either. I'll think of something and say it, and you think of something and put it in the comments below. Maybe check out the comments and see what others put after you write yours, not before. No cheating or copying. I know only a split second has gone by, but I actually paused and thought for a while, and it's not that obvious to me. I can't see the chain, so maybe instead I should look for the trainers. Who in my life is doling out rewards and punishments? I suppose everyone is if you give them enough time. I suppose if the helplessness has already been learned, that trainer has fallen into the background. Great, now we're probably dealing with Stockholm Syndrome as well. Still, we're getting closer. Though they may not be seen on the map, we can look at their surroundings to find their gravitational pull. I suppose we should revisit a thought as well. Do I even want to go anywhere? Do I want to leave the comfort of this post, this place I've been my whole life? And though I used to struggle against it, it still reminds me of my childhood. It's familiar. It's comfortable, relaxing, like a trance. I know we're close. The enemy has yet to reveal itself, but we're close. It's taken me a while, and I've re-listened to this over and over again, at least up until this point. And a thought did pop into my mind. I think I may have found the rope, the thin rope that looks like a giant chain holding me to the post that I've known my whole life. Now, this is just what I came up with. It's not supposed to be the same for you. It could be, though. And none of this is scripted. I'm coming up with this as I go. I kind of opened a can of worms with this learned helplessness thing. I really do want to get to that pivotal moment, which will work and will be life-changing because I've done it before and it needs to be done again from time to time. All right, so I hope you don't hate my answer that I came up with, but I think that the rope holding me to the post, what popped in my head was fear of loss. I thought about that some more, and this may sound ridiculous because I was thinking, fear of loss of what? Because everybody has some kind of fear of loss. I guess the poison is in the dose, but what specifically do I fear losing? And here's what sounds to be the ridiculous part, the post itself. I guess being tied to it so many years, I started to think of it as home. So now I'm feeling kind of vexed at the notion that I'm in love with my cage. And though many of these restraints we've succumbed to, well, likely a lot of these restraints serve us. But here's how I just identified this one as the culprit, the rope that keeps me tied to the post, the learned helplessness. Though I am comfortable here, familiar with my place at the post, the things I want are not here. And even the fear of loss itself is an illusion. After all, how can you lose something if you don't even have anything? We may think we have things, but we're merely experiencing them and controlling them temporarily. I learned that lesson when I was hospitalized one time. And that even happened while I was tied to the post. Yeah, so I've grown accustomed to this post. I think I'm going to keep this post, but I am going to break this rope. I'm not going to toothpaste stomp any trainers on my way out, because I'm going to go out. And I am upset, but not with the trainers. I just wish I hadn't stayed here so long. But 20% problem, 80% solution. No sense in dwelling in the past. We merely glance at the past to learn, and then we move forward. That's why the rearview mirror is much smaller than the windshield. You got to mostly look at where you're going and not at what's behind you. Unless you're just driving backwards. Uh-oh, a trainer's looking at me. What do I mean, uh-oh? I'm just blank staring off into the distance. I don't want him reading my cards. I guess what they think doesn't even matter anymore. If they know that this rope is BS, who cares really? But I guess I don't want to frighten anyone. Unless they try to give me a whack. Then I guess the toothpaste thing is back on the table. Not bad, huh? Breaking learned helplessness with the morning coffee. Unless you're a way more advanced person than myself. Well, it still may have been fun for you to listen to a dimwit come to an epiphany. All right, enough of that rearview mirror. We ready to move forward? Regardless of what stage of life you're at now, this is always good to revisit. And if you've never done this, like so many things, the first time is the best, at least so far. All right, as promised, change life now. Okay, so this is going to be different for each of us, though some will take similar paths. It starts with a question you must answer. What is the change I could make today that would have the largest impact on my life? Don't underestimate this question, okay? It sounds corny or hokey. But in the words of the great T. Harv Eker, author of the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, I'd rather be really, really hokey and really, really rich than really, really cool and really, really poor. Right now, you stand at a fork in the road. You can go down the same path that you've been going down, or you can veer off to that other path. I know that other path has a lot of unknown. We can only speculate, or we can travel that same path that we've been on and reap the same results we've been getting. We can stay on that familiar path. But I'll ask again, what is the change I could make today that would have the largest impact on my life? By the way, I'm going to answer this too. This morning ponder is for me. And you get to listen in. I think you're lucky. So I asked myself that question many years ago. And I said to myself, you know what? If I stopped drinking and being a train wreck every night, I suppose that would be the thing I could do that would radically change my life the most. So instead of going down the same path, I veered off. I had good friends. Well, at least I thought they were good friends. Continue down the same path. Ugh, I almost don't want to talk about it. You see, when we took the fork in the road, they stayed on the same path, and I veered off to the no drinking path. Early in the fork in the road, you can still see each other. They're walking that way, I'm walking that way. We're kind of going in the same general direction. And, I can still wave, hey, how you doing? They can do the same thing. It's not till more time goes by and many miles down these paths that it becomes apparent that we are headed for very different destinations. And the things that happened to those friends were horrific, to say the least. Horrible outcomes. I mean, this is the stuff that people write in books. I don't feel comfortable talking about any of it, at least at this point. But someday I'm sure I will. If I had stayed on that path, would I have reached my demise by now? I don't know. But I can say with a lot of certainty, I would have been less healthier and less wealthier. So make no doubt, these big decisions will affect your stack. This question will affect your stack much more than premiums and spot prices. In my humble opinion, not financial advice. I will say from what I've learned so far, finance seems to be a lot more about psychology than it does numbers. Maybe I'm wrong about that, I don't know. I would love to hear your opinion in the comments below. And don't mistake me, I'm not saying that the numbers are not important. It's like a 60-40 ratio, maybe even as high as 80-20. All right, so what should I change today? What change could I make in my life today that would give me the most radically great outcome? I think we will use the wise words of Timothy Ferriss to hone in on such a decision. And I just happen to have these words written on index cards and taped to my bedroom door. I'm going to read off 2 cards, 2 sides of the same coin. You'll see what I mean. What are 20% of activities, responsibilities, or people that are producing 80% or more of the pain, the headaches, and negative emotions I prefer not to have? Think about that one, and I'll read the next one. What are 20% of the activities or people that are producing 80% or more of the results and positive emotional states that I want? These questions, they used to make me come to consensus very quickly. But like I said before, I have used this process before a few times now. So I've already accentuated the positive and eliminated the negative time and time again. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what to change today. How about you, friendo? You come up with something? I'd love to read about it in the comments below. So I myself don't really have any negative people in my life for the most part. I already got rid of them. It's kind of a shame in some ways because I like them. But I'm way better off without them around. Or without me being around them. That's why you got to be proactive about this, because there's going to be people that you care about that are just terrible. They could be your relatives. But the Timothy Ferriss cards I have written on my door don't just mention people. It also mentions responsibilities and activities. I guess I have to say at this point, my job is my aggravation. But I mean, isn't that kind of a given? Oh, I think I may have a good one. Remember, this is just for me. You do whatever you want to do. And I didn't think of this quickly. It took me some time. A couple lines ago, I just cooked breakfast. I ate breakfast and now I'm back. I think I figured out an activity that causes a lot of pain. The activity I thought of was eating after dark. I think I just will not eat once the sun goes down. And nor will I have anything to eat until the sun comes up. This may not sound that glorious, but keep in mind, I already quit drinking and smoking years ago. I've already gotten rid of people that have caused a lot of irritation or problems years ago. If you've never done anything like this, I kind of envy you because you probably have some really big irritating things you're about to get rid of. You're probably going to end up significantly happier, healthier, or wealthier, or all of those. I don't expect a big response to this video, everybody going yippee, but I do think this video is going to reach some people and make some significant change. And these were just my crazy thoughts with my coffee this morning. I believe I just scratched the surface with the learned helplessness. I didn't realize how deep that would go. And I can already tell I'm going to have to revisit it. I look forward to watching this video again. That's right. I watch Thousandaire radio videos too. I also wanted to go into the other side of the manipulation, the Pavlov's dog. I just wanted to establish that we're not the only ones controlling our destiny. That there's invested commercial interest to keep us afraid of loss and tantalized by products. That really hit us on an emotional level. And every so often, we gotta cut the weeds back and take the reins. And when we do this, we can reap very large rewards. I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe you'll turn some of those bad habits into gold and silver. I'd like to hear about that. You don't need to be a doctor or a lawyer. Trust me, a lot of them are living paycheck to paycheck too. The enemy of your prosperity is not out there. Learn about the one who holds you back the most. Learn about yourself. All right, off the soapbox. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, can I please get a thumbs up? Please and thank you very much. You're always generous with the likes, friendo. It's good to be generous. Generosity always has a way of coming back. And then some. If you're new here, I have coffee every morning and I ponder out loud with my iPhone and I put it on the internet for everyone to hear. Yes, for everyone to hear. What could go wrong? What could go right? So, if you enjoy this, maybe stick around and hit that subscribe button and become part of this wealthy community of ours. When are you going to start treating yourself as well as you do others? Do something for you today. Stick around. All right. That's it. That is it. Thousandaire Radio. Wicked shout. Join the pen pals. You can now write me at The Thousandaire Collector, 1700 Sullivan Trail, Suite 7, Box 111, Easton, Pennsylvania, 18040. Don't forget to include your info so I can put you on my mailing list.